The following video is part 2 of our visit to South Africa. To recap part 1, we visited with our children and family in Pretoria and Johannesburg. We all went for a weekend to the northern part of the country where we spent time at the game reserves. This is a continuation of our trip to South Africa. This is Hippo Lakes, a private game reserve where we were fortunate enough to be able to spend the whole day there all by ourselves. Along this river are tented bungalows, each with their own pool or jacuzzi. You will also notice on the right hand side are chalets available. We're coming up to one of the entertainment areas where visitors can relax, enjoy the pool, enjoy their company, have a cocktail, and just enjoy the atmosphere. My nephew knows the manager, and since we were not able to stay there because the previous week they had a big conference and the staff was given a free weekend, but since they were kind enough to let us visit, they also agreed to provide us with a lunch. Looking over the water to see if we could see the hippos we heard, but we could not. However, I could see them submerged under the water on the other side with the drone. We finished our lunch and everybody was relaxing. The kids were out there enjoying themselves. Let's take another look flying down this river. If you look closely on the left-hand side of the river, you will see the hippos submerged under the water. Getting back to the tents, you will see that they have different sizes, each with their own pool or jacuzzi, so that they can accommodate larger groups. This open field is not natural. This must have been cleared by previous cattle farmers to improve the grazing for the cattle. In the foreground is the main conference center, designed to accommodate large groups of people. One of the main goals of this organization is to bring African preachers from all over Africa a year to support, train and teach them how to expand their Christian congregations in their local communities. And here again, I'm approaching the facility where we spent a wonderful day. I'm not being paid or sponsored to say the following. I want to thank the manager and his staff of Hippo Lakes Luxury Safari Lodge for going out of their way to accommodate us. I will post a link to Hippo Lakes in the description of this video. This is the view from one of the tented villas. And here we have a group photo. We were offered a ride by the local ranger to the highest point in the reserve. It was a bumpy ride up this incline to get to the outlook. From here we could see to the other side, and the lodge and the accommodations is way in the valley in the distance. My nephew playing with his drone.
Tourist in the white.
We are all having a relaxing time and enjoying the great weather and the view. Here we are driving back to the main camp. We came upon this giraffe in the adjoining field, watching us drive by. Here we are driving through the complex to our pavilion where we spent the day.
Yay!
Marilyn and I planned on a 2-day trip to an area 350 miles east of Pretoria. This is also the same region where the famous Kruger National Park is located, but we plan on staying at a private lodge with tented housing. Before we could get to the lodge, we had to drive through the nearest big city. Now this is what load sharing looks like. All the traffic lights dead. But fortunately everybody is really slow in this intersection, so you can step on the brakes.
And people understand.
Yeah.
They're all in it together.
Yeah, I've never seen anybody on a horn or fighting about it. They just mosey along.
This is their life.
The electricity grid is managed by the government, and they could not keep up with providing electricity for the country and maintaining the infrastructure. Therefore, they created a system of load sharing by shutting down power to certain areas in cities and towns on a predetermined schedule.
Okay, go.
We arrived at our destination, the Ndula Luxury Tented Lodge. Unfortunately for us, the rainy season arrived with us, but the locals and the animals are quite happy for the rain. This is the reception area as well as the restaurant. Morning. Walking out onto the patio overlooking the valley, the only thing we could see was the rain and the mist in the distance. Our luggage are being transported to our tent by a bike bakkie, which means it's a motorcycle bucket. In America, we would call it a motorcycle pickup. We were quite impressed how well the tent was designed. Luxury comfortable bed, small kitchen area, and a shower and a toilet. The next morning, we woke up to this view from our front porch. It would have been a wonderful view if the sun was out and we had clear skies. But unfortunately, the weather was predicted to even turn worse for the next few days. That night, the temperature must have fallen into the low 40s, and even with extra blankets they gave us, Marilyn still had quite a problem staying warm. Since there was no chance that the weather was going to improve and no game drives was going to be available, we decided to return back. On the right hand side, as I'm looking back, you can see the reception area and the restaurant. The management of Ndula Lodge was very accommodating, and they gave us a huge discount for not staying the extra night that we booked. I will also include a link to this lodge in the description of the video. On our way back, we did some last-minute shopping for gifts for family and friends. We were invited to the Grandparents' Day at the preschool of two of our grandchildren, where they performed for us. After the performance, we spent the rest of the day at a place called Monte Casino. This is an entertainment complex with a casino, all kinds of stores, entertainment and restaurants. Although it looks like nighttime, but it's because the whole complex is inside a big building simulating nighttime.
Ja.
This is fried king clip and rice. We ended the day at a seafood restaurant before we headed back to prepare to fly back home. Calamari steak.
Stir-fried veggies.
With stir-fried veggies. We were able to advance our return date by 1 day to be back home in case Hurricane Ian left us stranded at some airport. We are fortunate that we could have done that because the Tampa airport was closed on the day we would have arrived. Smile to all the camera.